Grateful for all of you here and the great speakers we have. We have Drew from Vets for Freedom is going to be speaking. We have Harold Jonker is here. Yeah, we know who Harold is. Yeah. We have Mr. Freedom here. And we also have Tamara Lich here. Circling the perimeter, we have Rain over there with Diane. Y'all remember the Freedom Horse? We also have Dan Freeman, who's going to have the honor of interviewing Tamara. We all love our Dan. Wish he could be doing journalism full time, because that would be, to me, the highest standard we could have. I don't care what you say, Dan. Okay, so we're going to open this event off with, of course, singing "O Canada." Mr. Freedom's going to come up here. Before I start, I also want to thank our truckers. Let's go, thank the truckers. We rose up and took care of the problem inside this country, and as well, I want to thank our veterans, our special forces, absolutely. Thank you, Vets for Freedom. I think we're up to like 3,200 members, I believe, that have joined this special cause right after the convoy, and it is a real honor that these gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen were in service for this country, and obviously they really have that conviction that their service has never ended, and they've formed this great organization to stand up for what this country was supposed to be. So thank you, Vets for Freedom. And ultimately, for true freedom, I'd like to thank our Lord Jesus Christ for all that he did. So we want to do this the way it should be done in schools. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer, and then we're going to have Mr. Freedom sing "O Canada." Pray with me. Our Father,
thank you.
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Come on up, Josh.
I was going to sing it.
You can do this like
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna got a lot of helpers here, right? You guys all know the words. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in our son's command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, thus true nor strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Freedom! I love you all very much. We have a lot of speakers coming up right now, so I'm going to give the microphone back to Sam and the Freedom Tour, and I just want to give him a big hug. And if anyone else needs a hug, I'll be here all day. Oh, and no masks.
You have the freedom to wear one if you want, but
Not here.
it's not here. want to open up a little bit with a quick message here. I guess we've heard the word the most past couple years, freedom, haven't we? We hear it all the time, probably more than Google in these circles. But I really contemplated and asked myself, what is freedom? What is it? I came to the objective conclusion that freedom is anything that functions according to its purpose. And we all want order, and freedom is a result of order. And anything that has order is the execution of purpose. And how do we get here? What happened? Why did millions line up? Why has it become heroes in the freedom movement? Look at Tamara. Amazing stuff. And Tamara was just a regular Canadian doing regular things that every Canadian does. There was nothing so special about her a while ago. There was not something so special about any of us a while ago. And all of a sudden, something wasn't functioning according to its purpose. And this was our Constitution. And then people like Tamara and people like you guys stood up and realized there was massive consequences going on in this country because our Constitution wasn't functioning according to its purpose. And it's just not Tamara that stood up, it's all of you that stood up. Many people have sacrificed very, very much, and they remain hidden. They don't want to be known, they don't want to be in the spotlight. But it takes everybody to be standing for freedom. So we have many, many freedom fighters here. And I'm proud of all of you. And our national freedom is something that we can purchase. We've done a lot of work for it. We don't know if we're going to win, but we're not going to quit, right? And not only our Constitution wasn't functioning according to its purpose, neither was our media. Hey? It's very hard to have purpose with lies, right? Because lies just breeds deception. Our education system was not functioning according to its purpose. Our medical system wasn't functioning according to its purpose. So much of this country's been broken down because it hasn't functioned according to its purpose. So we stood up. And we're exposing the lies, we're speaking the truth, and we're wanting to bring the solutions. So for all these freedom fighters, this is what it takes. But there's one freedom that we can't purchase. And I think the ultimate question is what is the purpose of humanity? You ever ask those big questions? Who are we? Why are we here? What's wrong with this place? What must happen to make it right? What is truth? What's right and wrong? By what standard and who decides? These are the big questions that I think we're all tormented by, and that there has to be an answer to it. And why is humanity in such a crisis? Why don't we know our objective purpose? Why are there so many problems? There's only one answer to that, and it leads back to Genesis chapter 3. When Satan came into the garden and had nothing to offer Adam and Eve. But he tempted them, and he brought doubt to what God had said. Do not eat from this tree. And they were tempted. And what was that temptation? Satan had nothing to offer them, so Satan didn't say, follow me. He said, follow you. That you could be like God. That you can create your own purpose. That you can create your own idea of right and wrong, your own standards. You could be like God. And if you promise somebody that they can be like God and control and get them to sign on it, you've just handed over all control to that person. And that's what happened in the garden. They were deceived. And our government is also deceived because this country is not functioning according to its purpose because it's not honoring its creator and its redeemer. But there's one thing, one person that's the ultimate freedom fighter that we can't do what he did. and that's the Lord Jesus Christ. As great as all of our works are, and I appreciate Everett, he had to do this alone, because he is the only one that could live the perfect life that was required from us and pay for our sins to redeem us and give us hope and the ability of a new nature, that we would be able to follow him, put our trust in him, and have our hope in him. This only country's hope is Christ. Because this country has, if you read Romans chapter 1, we're a country that's abandoned by God right now. Justin Trudeau is what happens when a country is abandoned by God. And this country needs to repent ultimately and needs the one and true Savior. So I just want to keep in mind that you're all freedom fighters, but there's only one freedom fighter that can really deliver us from what happened in that garden and the death that came from us from disobeying what God commanded us to do. And the prescription was in Genesis 3:15, the seed of the woman, which is Christ. So that's really our only true hope. And I want to be able to, there's quite a few Christians in the freedom movement. And we've started a small, a little chapel. And I also teach a course called The Science of Thinking, the Nature of Reality. And I think that's where we've lost all this, is our education system. Because whoever owns the education system owns the minds. And we remove logic and morality from education and replace it with emotion. And that's where we have to win this back. And if you have your children in the public education system, I would really, really reconsider homeschooling or other viable options, because that's where they're getting our minds, folks. We love our kids more than the government. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. So, I'm teaching a course called The Science of Thinking, the Nature of Reality, the Hope for Man, the Fall of Man, the Hope for Mankind. And come talk to me afterwards. We have a little group that gets together. If you don't know the hope you have in Christ, come and talk to me, or you can point your other believers here as well. So, and I also want to, so we're with Escarpment Chapel. Thanks for coming. And we're going to get a very important, our headliner, I like to call him our headliner, Drew from Vets for Freedom. Where's Drew? I love this man. Vets for Freedom has a very, very important mission. And I think it's probably one of the most important missions in the whole movement, and you're going to hear why. Because it's going to give us the support that we need to fund all those that are getting hammered. 15, and this is a veteran, folks, and I just love what these guys are. Like I said earlier, you guys signed up to beginning to serve this country. And now that this happened, you realize that it wasn't them being served, and now you're doing it out of your heart right now, and all these volunteers. So I love you guys. Thanks for what you did for your country, and thanks for what you're doing for it now.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Joel.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for the warm welcome. Sometimes I ramble on, so Sam, give me the hook if I talk too much. So I'm just going to touch on a couple points, and then I'm going to talk about our support fund at the end. So I just want to talk a little bit about the truckers convoy. I know it's in the past, but we've been hearing a lot of chatter online, and people email us or text us, and they said, "Oh, it was such a loss, because we didn't get what we wanted, and the truckers left, and they beat people, and a lot of people were down over that." In our opinion, or my opinion, I guess, the convoy was a huge win. It was a huge win. Because how many people have woke up? And I remember, because this is probably the biggest impact that I had at the convoy, was the day after they enacted the Emergencies Act. And I remember being in a room with all the block captains and truck captains. There was 40 or 50 of them, and I was on my knee like a quarterback. And this is what I said. I said, "Look, if you want to leave, there's no shame in you leaving, right? Everyone has a different level of tolerance for violence, which is probably coming. So if you want to leave, there's no shame in leaving. However, if we stay, we don't have bombs being dropped on us. We're not taking incoming enemy fire. They won't kill you. I said, but we will suffer some short-term pain for some long-term gain, because what a lot of people don't know is when you have these tyrants in power, you need to force them to be tyrants to expose themselves. And so I said that. I got a round of applause from the truckers there, because I'm like, if we hold the line, we're gonna take some beatings, we'll get some pepper spray and that sort of thing, but we will expose to the world the tyrants who are in control of our country right now. And sure enough, they froze bank accounts, they beat innocent protesters. They're still talking about that around the world. So kudos to the truckers and everyone else who stayed in Ottawa to take that short-term pain. So a couple other things I'm going to talk about. This is again sort of military style stuff. So in the military we have 3 levels of, I guess, management. You have the strategic level, which is, the generals and senior non-commissioned officers. You have the operational level, which is sort of your middle management. And then you have your tactical level, which is like boots on the ground, where you're actually going out and doing things. And with the military, it's taking the hill or boarding that ship or whatever it is we're doing. And I tell people is that you can have all the strategic level guidance in the world, all of it in the world. If you don't have people who are taking that and translating it to actual things, like boots on the ground and doing things on the ground, all that strategic level guidance doesn't mean anything. So with our organization, how we approached it is sort of the strategic level guidance that we give our members and our supporters is that localism will counter globalism. Okay, so that's our strategic level stuff that we put out. Localism will counter globalism, and then how that translates down to the tactical level where we are right now is what we tell people is find your friends, build community, and then work collectively together with that community to achieve common goals. And we know that the globalists, the elitists, the cultural Marxists, whatever you want to call them, we know that they're using food as a weapon. So since November of last year, we have been pushing food security for everyone. Focus on food security, get involved, support local farmers, start to grow your own food. Does anyone here ever heard of the term victory garden? Has anyone ever heard of that? So in World War II, in the UK, they did this big campaign to get the local citizens of that country to start building their own farms and gardens and that sort of thing, so that they could help feed the hundreds of thousands of soldiers and then feed themselves and that sort of thing. So what we're pushing is sort of like approach it from a victory garden, start to grow your own food, start to do whether it's community supported agriculture or cooperative farms, because Sun Tzu said you need to put yourself in an unassailable position. So we know they're using food as a weapon. We need to take that weapon out of their hands and put it into our hands so that we're in an unassailable position, and they have no control over that. So that's so some of the guidance that translates down to the tactical level is focusing on security. I'll just talk about quickly what I've done in my community. So I'm from Albertan County, and so me and another guy, we started a local group just focusing on food security and community building. We thought we were going to get 10, 15 people. Our group's up to like 150 people. We just had an event a couple of weeks ago. We had 250 people come to the event. We're now doing monthly potlucks, getting together, building community, taking tours of each other's properties, and then also exchanging information, how we can help each other. One guy who was at our potluck yesterday was, well, I'm an electrician. I'll come and help you. I'll do electrical work at your place. You can come over to my place and help me out and that sort of thing. So that's how we have to start approaching things, is from the local level. So build community, focus on food security, and help each other. Well, actually, I'm not going to talk about this, a little bit controversial. If anyone here is a QAnon supporter, come and speak to me at our tent after. I have a little bit of information about that, if anyone is. I don't know if they are or not, but I won't say it up here because it might bother some people. But the big thing we'll talk about for the rest, because I'm probably at my time limit now, is the support fund. So what we've had, our organization since our inception, which is over a year ago now, we have raised over $100,000 for people in need, whether it's veterans, whether it's freedom people, whether it's getting people's trucks who were damaged in the convoy to get them replaced with equipment and that sort of thing. So we've raised a fair bit of money and got into the hands of people in need. So what one of our supporters came up with the idea about a support fund. He said, look, why don't you just get a monthly sign up, and on that sign up get people to donate $5 a month, and then whatever initiatives that we have for that month, it's a form of monetary populism. So you get sent a ballot, and that ballot says, here are the 3 initiatives, where would you like the money to go? So we started thinking about that, and we're like, wow, if we could get 5, 10, 15, 20, 50,000 Canadians giving $5 a month, then we actually have some power to get that money into the hands of people in need. And we're not trying to attack the Democracy Fund or the JCCF for what they're doing, because they are doing good work in helping people. But this is something where we just get the hands directly into the money, or the money into the hands of the people who need it. So for June, does anyone here know who Sheila Annette Lewis is? Okay, so she's a 58-year-old lady who was denied a transplant because of her own personal medical decisions. And to save her life, we need to raise about, I think it's about $700,000. So her Give Send Go is up at $120,000 for some testing and that sort of thing. But imagine with a lady in her position, where if we had 100,000 Canadians giving $5 a month, we could save that lady's life. And this is something that's happened just recently nearby in Sudbury. There's a young man named Garnett Harper, who is the father of 5, who just passed away in May because he was denied a kidney transplant. So this is going to continue to happen. So if we can get enough people together and giving, whether it's, some people give more, some people give $100 a month or 20 or 10 or whatever it is, we can start to build this fund, and then we can get into the hands of people in need. Because I don't think that you should have to sell your house to be able to defend yourself in court against a tyrannical government. Now we've created a completely separate bank account. We just published, I think yesterday, our bank statement for June, so you can see exactly how much money's come in. We show proof that the money's been sent out, and then we write a monthly report where it says, this is how many people donated, this is what the average donation was, how many people responded to the survey, and we have the different sort of people listed. So we've had, I think this month is for the family of Garnett Harper. We invited them down. Unfortunately, they weren't able to make it over from Sudbury. And then we have Shaba, the truck driver, I think he's from Windsor. So we have him on there. We have another guy, we always get a flack from this. We got another guy named Pat King from out in Alberta. And people are like, oh, you guys are Pat King, and you don't like it's like, whether we like him or not, or whether you like him as an individual or not, it's like irrelevant, because the fact that he's being targeted by the state, right, we should all collectively get together. I don't care if it's some left-wing lunatic. Because if they're being treated unfairly, we should all, as Canadian citizens, should be there to defend them, even if you hate their guts. Now, if you say, okay, well, I don't want to support that person, then you just don't vote for that person. That's how it's sort of broken down. One of the other options we have with the support fund is you have an option to tick off and say, we would like 10% of the money from this month to go to a veterans organization. So the last month, we had Veterans and Everyday Heroes. There's guys who raised money for service dogs. I think the majority of people said, yep, give 10%, so we sent the money to them. This month we have Operation Pegasus Foundation, another veteran organization, where we give the money directly into them. These guys are actually on the ground helping veterans. So it's two-tier. We're taking care of people who are being unfairly targeted by the state, and we're taking care of veterans. So that's just something that we know we really wanted. We're gonna do more marketing. I had to buy a selfie stick so I can walk around and do these videos, which I don't want to do, but they sort of convinced me to do that. We're going to talk about the people. We're going to talk about how we can help them, how much money they need. And again, it's completely transparent, and you will see on the webpage where everything goes. We have a FAQ, or frequently asked questions section. We have a SOP, or standard operating procedure, where you can read, the dates and times and everything. So it's all transparent, it's all there. And we hope that this can get really big. so that we can start to protect people, because this stuff's not going away. They came after Harold, what, 15 months later, 12 months later. After that, there's going to be more people. They're just going after the big fish right now, like Tamara and Chris and Harold. It's going to trickle down. They're going to keep going after people. So we need to sort of unite together as Canadians to try and protect each other from a tyrannical state. So that's the support fund. We have cards over on the at the barbecue area, and please, it would mean a lot to us if you can sign up and we can start helping people. And I'll just leave it on this. We have, does everyone here know who James Topp is? So if you don't know, James was one of our veteran brothers who marched across the country to push back and protest against the government's mandates, against federal workers in the Canadian Armed Forces. He's been radio silent for the past couple months because he has a court-martial coming up on the 6th of November, so you're not really going to hear too much from him. He sends us some messages that we put out on our social media for people to sort of just get an update of where he is. But what we did is we had Yan, who's somewhere in the back, and he took a great photo of James touching the tomb of the unknown soldier back on June 30th of last year. So what a lot of people don't know is James burned through his life savings to pay to march across the country. So Yan and V4F got together and we created limited edition print of him touching the tomb. It's 11 by 17 and it's $125. We're only doing 250 of them. The first numbers 1 to 5 went to James, numbers 6 to 25 went to the people who marched with James across the country. And so we're selling 225 of them. They're $125. $25 goes for the expenses, so the paper, the ink, the machine that cost a fortune to print them, and then $100 of every print is going to go right to James. So we're going to try and raise them $22,500 if we can sell them all. And then that's a big thank you from us and the rest of Canada for what he did for us. And that is pretty much it for me, because I got a couple minutes. I won't go into all the 5th gen warfare and all the other stuff, but I think there's about 7 or 8 of us vets over at the tent there, so please, we'll be here as long as you guys want, and I know they went and bought more food, so you can help yourself to the barbecued food, and yeah, we look forward to chatting with you, so thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Yes, there is more food. See what these vets do? You guys ran out and you guys solve problems. Yeah. And they went and got more food.
Well, Sam ate 3 burgers, so.
You don't always tell the truth, man. Also, Drew, you teach this course and you'd come back for a course, right? To be able to teach what you were talking to me about?
Well, you're talking about the briefing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's your show of hands too.
Yeah.
We want to get you back here.
So my fire team partner is Daryl Smith. He's over in Sudbury, and we have a community intelligence briefing that we do. We've been all over Ontario. It's about 4 hours long, and we're sort of giving people the ground truth of what's happening in terms of how they're attacking us, the culture war, information warfare, and that sort of thing. So. Yeah, we're a little bit of downtime this summer, but sometime in September, if you guys want us to come back and do this full briefing for you, it really gives you situational awareness about what's happening in the world, and we got it pretty refined. So yeah, if you're interested in that, we could definitely set something up through you guys.
25 people? 25?
Yeah, we need to go.
100?
Yeah. And it's
Well, got some interest for this? It's free too. Show of hands, who would show up if Drew came back for this course? Yeah, I think we're gonna have a course in maybe September or October. Okay, so you can check V4F's website?
No.
No?
Well, you can email us there.
We can email, we'll post it on, we're gonna post it on there, we'll let you guys know. I think it's a very important course to have.
Okay, thanks.
So. So we have a lot of freedom people that are threats to our national security. I guess Harold's going to be probably considered a transportation threat to our national security.
Well, when you have a big truck, you have a weapon. Shouldn't say it like that.
No. Harold, we're part of Freedom Tour, and I met Harold. in Ottawa with his 9 trucks. Harold Jonker Trucking had 9 trucks in front of Parliament with the shed truck. Y'all remember that? Yeah. I met Harold and he's just been in love with me ever since. Heather is a brother in the Lord, and Harold's got a fascinating story. He's a member, he was an elder at his Dutch Reformed church, so he was dealing with the spiritual issues. He was a city councilor in West Lincoln, dealing with the issues for his community and his country. He's got a lovely wife. Where is she? Stand up, just don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on, get it up. There it is. And I love children. I love life. I hate what they're doing in our country to our children in every aspect. And the Lord commanded us to go bear fruit and multiply, and that he did. And he's got 13 precious children. And one's married, one just got married? 2 married, 2 married, okay.
Second grandchild coming.
Second grandchild coming. So Harold, we were down there with Chris Barber doing a fundraiser. And was it a week later, Harold got, I guess the children showed up at your place, the police showed up at your place.
Yep.
And Harold was of course working because he owns a trucking company with his brother and brother-in-law, so he was trucking in BC, and they told him that he's going to be charged and he's under arrest. So 15, 16 months afterwards, Harold got 4 criminal charges and facing up to 10 years in jail.
Well, the one lawyer said it could be up to 10 years if they really pushed it, but it seems like they're going to be happy with a year.
Oh, okay.
But we'll see.
So Harold, I have a question for you. Looking back now on all that you did, all that happened, do you have any regrets for what you did in standing for freedom and all that you did? Is there any regrets?
No, and that's what's been so beautiful about the last, it's kind of weird how you say last year and a half, right? Like it goes by so quick, but what's been amazing is this. Coming to events like this, seeing familiar faces in this crowd, and the frustrating part is I've seen this gentleman before. I've seen you before. You're truck drivers. See?
Do I look like a trucker?
You're lister. Yes. And you just have that where you see faces and you go, I know that person, but not really. And that's where it's been so beautiful. 2020 was going to be an epic year for me, I thought. I was born on the 20th of a month. I got married on the 20th of a month 26 years ago. And, so I thought 2020 is going to be cool. Wow. Did I ever show that my prophecy skills suck? Right? But yet, 2020 led to this. Led to meeting so many awesome people from across our country. And I think it's been touched a little bit here with Sam and even with Drew. We have been blessed with the means to support each other from our Heavenly Father, right? Through families, through our marriages, and then through our communities. And you start looking back at what's going on and you see that the devil's hard at work, breaking that apart, right? How many people here know their neighbors so well that they know what they need? We all lack that. We all failed in that sense, but yet we now have the opportunity to grow a community. And what's so amazing, it's a huge community, right? You have a lady from Medicine Hat and her husband. We get to meet her. You have a lady that was running a camp I thought she was from Quebec, and she ends up being from Sudbury, in between here and Sudbury. You meet so many people that you realize that we do have a huge community, and it's called Canadians. And we are a special people because we've been blessed with what we have here. And that was what was being broken apart, and even our government was doing it, right? Don't rely on your family. Don't rely on your community. We will take care of you. We need to take care of those around us to really know. And how do you take care of somebody? And it's the same thing that was happening in Ottawa. There's these homeless there. And to give somebody $5 is not helping them. But to actually talk to them and know what they actually need, that's helping them. And that's what was so awesome, and that's what I'm so thankful to be part of. We actually have this opportunity to meet people like Sam, like Lon up here, and in the Niagara region where I'm from, it's a huge community that is slowly coming together. And that's what's so beautiful, that we need to continue, like Drew said, build your communities, and then you can build out, and you build out. And what makes a strong country? Healthy families, strong communities, or strong, healthy families, and same with communities, and you build that out. And that's what's been broken apart, and that's where, when this whole thing happened at the beginning of 2022, you're just going, yeah, this doesn't make sense. But it's served a purpose. We might not understand it, but it has served a purpose, and that's what we can be thankful for. And I'm so thankful that I have a neighbor like Mr. Freedom. Like, who would have thought I had a guy that lived that close to me? You see this guy marching in Ottawa, and I'd be like, really, where are you from? Beansville, dude, right? We're like 20 minutes apart, and we still don't get together enough, right? Because we're still so busy, but it is still an awesome thing to be part of. So I can't remember what you asked me, but I don't have any regrets. No, I don't have any regrets. I'm thankful. Yes, no, I have no regrets. I have concerns. You sometimes wonder, but I don't worry. Like, he did say 10 years, but that was one lawyer saying if you looked at all the charges, technically they could go after over 10 years for you in prison. But they've actually made an offer, and I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say when it comes to all this court stuff. My wife's probably rolling her eyes, but it's kind of funny. Right away, I was offered I was offered a year house arrest. My lovely wife, first question she asked, what's that mean? Are you stuck in the house? I took it the wrong way. That she was like, I don't want you. You're going to plead not guilty. But I actually do. And I think, Tamara, I said it to her too. I said, it kind of sucks. I did actually not get handcuffed. And I remember talking to the lawyers that were from the JCCF that I've been fortunate that are supporting me in my lawsuits and now my criminal. And I said to them, I'm actually going to call them and tell them, show up at my house. I'll be there Saturday. You come and arrest me. Because I wanted that experience, right? I want to experience. I might as well have the whole show and get handcuffed, get shoved into a car. And well, my lawyer was like, Harold, I want you to call every 2 hours. You're worried. You worry me. I'm like, that's okay. And then when I did talk to Tamara, she asked me, how's your shoulders? I'm like, yeah, they're pretty rough. No, you won't enjoy handcuffs then. So, and it's, yeah. So all these things, you kind of go, oh, it's going to be a neat experience. And same with if I do end up in jail, I know that's where God's planning to put me, and I'll be speaking the truth there. And because I have a wonderful community that's around me from Hamilton, Niagara region, there's a couple there that have already told me, don't worry, I have people everywhere. You'll be safe. But I know I will be safe because my Heavenly Father has promised that. We keep speaking the truth, and we will be safe. Sam's walking away. I don't know how much time I have, but. I do want to say, like, and I hope you've heard it a lot. Oh, Sam's always got something to say.
Do you know that Harold even touched Germany in a very powerful way? We all know who's from Germany. Christine Anderson. Remember that? Yeah? Christine we know what Christine did for our country. And Christine was coming to Canada, and she was dreaming to have a convoy. So Harold, and that was the Niagara 10-4?
Niagara 10-4,
Oh,
yeah.
Tell them really quick, we got to get going here.
Okay. Because of the fact that I have a great team of supporters that are around me that have said, we need to help you, Harold, and we're going to do whatever it is to raise funds for you and whatever. And I'm so thankful for these ladies that are in my life and their husbands. Somebody called me and said, you know, so-and-so's coming. Can you sponsor? So we did. And a little bit later, it's like, can you organize something? I'm like, I think she would love a convoy. And we did a convoy. And oh yeah, it was pretty cool. And cool in a way, but kind of like going underneath the bridge and seeing the crowd. Like, it wasn't crowd, but to see that, like, to experience that again, it brought tears to my eyes again. So I got to be careful how I talk about it, otherwise I'll be standing here in tears. But it was pretty amazing to have this lady sitting, yeah, this far apart in the truck. Well, maybe a little closer, and then a lady in the bunk. Yeah, and yeah, she was just so thrilled to be part of a truck ride with a truck driver, and that's what's been I've been so thankful for the experiences, the people I've met like her, and to be able to share a shot of Screwball with her. It was pretty cool. I don't know if anybody knows Screwball, but peanut butter whiskey, but it's got to be Screwball. It's for Black Sheep, Misfits, and Screwballs. Well, that suits us, doesn't it? And yeah, it was kind of cool to just give her a memory. Like, she actually said, this is my best second birthday ever. And it's like, well, what do you mean your second birthday? But she had a bad truck accident. A truck hit her 7 years to that day. And so yeah, that's what's been so neat, right? Like, you just get to meet so many cool people.
You know, John, and also, Harold, if people want to support you in your legal funds and all that, you want to tell us really quick how we can do that?
That's where I do suck. I don't know all the information. Yeah, no, she probably doesn't either. But there is a website, I think it's supporttruckers.com. And there's a few people on there. I'm named on there, but also there's a Jay Vanderweer from Niagara region. He's live from the shed. He got arrested in Ottawa and that day, and Chubba is on that as well. And I've been very thankful that I've been able to share what I've been receiving through the funds that we've been raising to support these guys, because their trials are coming first. Like, you get Tamara and Chris are coming in September. Chubba is going to be in September. These guys, their trials have to be taken care of first. Because if those trials go the wrong way, probably mine's going to too. But so we're making sure that the trials that are coming up receive the funds. And I'm very fortunate, if you want to call it fortunate, to have well, I had 3 different lawyers from the JCCF, so Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom. They've been giving me all the support I need, and it makes it quite a bit easier than that. You can support those who don't have that opportunity, right? So we always got to remember these guys, and in our prayers as well, because yeah, we're pretty tough guys, we think, but we do have moments, not moments of oh, where is this going to go? But yeah, you have your memories. You start thinking, and you do tear up and choke up. But you're looking forward to it too. I know one of the lawyers, or I think it was Chris Barber, said, I'm actually looking forward to being in court because, man, we got the truth on our side, and that's what's so beautiful. It's easy to remember, right? The truth is easy to remember. When you tell a lie, you got to remember that lie, and you got to remember it again. And oh yeah, right? So that's what we have. We have the truth, and it'll set us free.
Amen. Amen. I love truth. Harold Jonker, it's a pleasure. Thank you, and everyone who wants to talk to Harold. I think I might have a competition because I can't run a marathon, but I can talk one. I think I found my competition right here.
Oh yeah, I had a whole speech. He was wise. Don't let him go too long. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. We heard the word Yan. Where's Yan? I want to get him up here if I can. If not, I want you to look up Yan on the internet, and I want to give you the directions on how to get to some of his work and to see what he's doing, because he's doing incredible work. Oh, jump over that creek first. Oh, he forgot something. He's coming. Oh, I gotta grab this. I gotta bring this. Oh, here he comes. Look at this. All right. Reminds me of The Price is Right. Remember that game where you gotta run and put this in? Yeah, that's what he was doing over there. Sorry, Yan, I'm putting you on the spot. There's a lot of good photographers out there, but this one is really good. And he's got some amazing work. So a couple quick minutes here, Yan.
2 minutes?
How can people find you and find your work on the website?
Here's what I'd like you to do. James Top Photo. That's for, I'm working with Vets for Freedom, as Drew had mentioned. All right, just keeping it simple. So for you, Christine Anderson's shot is available at 125 for the large print. I think I have small prints too. But this is my newsletter. If you guys can all sign up, all you got to do is take a scan, sign up, and there's something special coming in September. So.
I got someone sneaking up behind me, so it means we're getting really close to the main event here. There is, look at this. We all know who this is? This is North Bay's own Dan Freeman is his handle, Dan Freeman. Originally Dan Arcan. I've known Dan for a long time, but went to school with him, but didn't know him well until after the convoy. And Dan is, to me, like a guy I've always known. I love this man. We keep in touch all the time, and we follow the stuff together. We take in the metrics, and we talk lots. And Dan owns a marina, and I think that Dan's true calling is journalism and writing and doing this kind of stuff. Dan has also got a good writing on Substack. You can find Dan on Substack. And our Facebook page is Freedom Tour as well, right? So you'll see Dan and others post on Freedom Tour lots, and you'll see Dan's articles. I think Dan should be doing this full time and even interviewing people. You'll see this man is genuine, he's after the facts, and he always looks at both sides of the argument and does not pull things to our side if they shouldn't be on our side, or vice versa. And he's very, very, very incredible what he does. And I don't think there's no one better to be able to don't look at me like that.
Thank you.
No one better, I think, to interview Tamara. But we got another special, someone from Vineland. We all know he's got a lot of titles. If he's on the roof, he's one. If he's at a Freedom Rally, he's another. Ask his wife, and she's got more titles. So Josh has lots of. There's kids around, though. There's kids around. But Josh, you've been married for
10 years this year.
10 years, yeah. Beautiful children, and I've been at your place, and I've seen some of the great teamwork you've done with your wife.
Thank you.
We can talk about that story after you remember the one that. And there's always, what's that saying? There's always a great woman behind. I was like, what's that? Great man?
There's a great woman behind every good man, isn't it?
So there's a real great woman behind this good man, and she doesn't like to be in the spotlight.
Not at all.
No, but she definitely is able to empower the light and what you do. And
She actually helped the Vets for Freedom build their website as well, so Tanya does a lot of work behind the scenes. So, gotta give thanks to the wife at home. She lets me off the leash, so I'm allowed to come up and do some more freedom. Right?
So another blesses me to see family. I love God's design for family, and their specific roles and what they bring. And your family, I love what happens in your home and how you take things serious. Even though you're on camera and can't always take you serious on some of your stuff. It makes us laugh. I think we all know this song. This song has become. This song didn't hit the top charts?
Didn't chart, they didn't accept it in the mainstream media, but it got accepted well with the community that I belong to, which is you guys, so. You see a little bit of guitar here? All right. I'd like to say thanks for everybody showing up and keep showing up. And this is my first time actually meeting Tamara. She came to my hometown in Lincoln about a month ago, and unfortunately I was away and I didn't get to meet her. So today is the day, and I came all the way up here to meet all of you beautiful people and to meet her beautiful soul as well. So you might know the song. If you know the song, sing along. Don't know where I'm going, but I know we'll be together, looking out over horizons, all the things that we will see. It will just keep on going, destination unknown, and we'd stay this way forever, rolling down the open road, sing it out. Freedom, what's living without freedom? Life's about living strong, what's living without freedom? Don't know where I'm going, but I know I'll be just fine. Looking out over horizons, everything that's yours is mine. We'll keep on going, destination unknown. If we stay this way forever, we will never walk alone. Sing it out. Freedom, what's living without freedom? Life's about living strong, what's living without freedom? Whoa, everybody now, let me hear you sing it out. Oh, Canada, freedom. Whoa, everybody now, let me hear you sing it out. Oh, Canada, freedom, freedom. What's living without freedom? Life's about living strong. What's living without freedom? Everybody, the beautiful Tamara Lich.
Love a grand entrance, eh? Oh wow, so great to see all of you out here today and so many familiar faces. I can't tell you what this community means to me. I will never forget coming through North Bay, Ontario in that convoy. And as somebody just reminded me here today, I forgot that the cops had actually changed our route when we came through. So, because there was so many of you, so that was awesome. I just gotta say a quick thank you to Sam and Lon and everyone that worked so hard to put this event together today. I'm so happy to be here, and there was a lot of work that went into this, and I really appreciate it. I also have to thank my husband, who's over here, finally, Mr. Dwayne Leach over there. He's the most patient, supportive. I'm so lucky. I mean, you know, I've had quite an experience, but it's a lot different, you know, when you're not the one that's right in the situation. So I give him a lot of credit. And of course, that I have an assistant now, because when I manage my own life, I seem to end up in jail. So she's going to manage my life now. Kim Kennedy. I met Kim, actually she was one of the people that had sent me a letter, and she also has a book out that she wrote called An Attic and a Blank Diary about her convoy experience. And the first time I called her, we hit it off like crazy. So now I live in Alberta and I have an assistant that lives in Ontario. So just more reason for me to keep coming back. And Harold, it's so great I haven't had a chance to say hi to Harold and Janice yet, but they were so kind enough to put me up a few weeks ago. I've spent more time in Ontario in the last year and a half than I have in my entire life, but I love it. You guys are amazing. And as Harold was saying, you know, getting together in these groups is family. It is like family. Christine Anderson, I think, said it when she was out on her first tour here, that there's a saying in German, I have no idea what it is in German, but it translates to when you are at home and with family, you never have to explain yourself. And that's how I feel when I come and see you guys, and this is, because we are a family. We really, really are a family. Thank you. And I got to see Drew. Geez, I don't think I've seen Drew since before the big takedown happened in Ottawa. So a shout out to our veterans. I think most of you know that when we started the GoFundMe, that was very important to us, that if there was money left over, well, we didn't know at that time we were going to raise $10 million, but it was very important to us that we got that to our veterans, because you know what? They are not asking for more than we can give. We should be giving them way, way more. And it was horrific to see, especially how they were treated at the convoy. And the veterans really made that a very special experience for me. And of course, out of that, Veterans for Freedom was born, and amazing organization. And Drew nailed it. You know, I am so lucky that my criminal case is being funded by the Democracy Fund. Harold's got the JCCF backing him, and as does Chris Barber, but there is some people out there that don't have these organizations behind them, and we can't forget about them. Like you said, Pat and Chaba, Candy Cito, I know, you know, she hasn't been able to work for a while. So there's lots of us that still need help. I don't want you to forget about them, because this is not the Tamara Lich show. This is about Canadians. This is about helping each other, and we said it when we were there, no one gets left behind. No one. So as a lot of you know, we have a trial coming up here pretty soon, September the 5th. Chris and I are co-accused, so our trial's going to run from September the 5th until, well, they've actually just added some dates. So believe it or not, we're going to have about 2 full months. Well, not full, sorry, we're not sitting every single week, but mischief charges. Mischief charges. It's looking like September 5th to about November the 2nd. Yeah, it's crazy. But let's go. You know what? I'm ready to dance. Let's do this.
So I just wanted to say a couple things. We thought it would be kind of cool to do like an interview style and just get a chance to talk a little bit about the last year of our lives. And for some reason, some people that I really care about selected me to represent the community here to talk to you. And I just got to say how grateful I am. So just to get started, on behalf of North Bay, I just want to give you a big hug. This is the second event we've had in this building, and quite a few events since the convoy. So it was the catalyst that set off a fire in North Bay and Callander and this community. And you've meant just a great deal. You've been a beacon for us here, as the convoy has, and we're very grateful to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.